This is upside down. It's kind of creepy, isn't it? Yeah. It's okay, Tim. Someone loves you. You belong to. What does your tag say? I was wondering what the hell your tag says.
Made in China.
Oh, that's great. Matthias is a pretty cool dude, eh? Are you recording me for fun?
Maybe this can be like a behind the scenes. I'm gonna find your tweet and I'm gonna favorite it.
I didn't delete it.
Did I get to delete my status?
Fuck.
So did you delete it or?
No. Foot camera.
Let's see.
Let's try a story thing. You ready? I'm gonna start with a sentence and you're gonna continue on, okay, Keanna?
Oh god.
One day there was a little box.
And that box's name was Tiny Box Tim.
He really liked to go on adventures, but the biggest adventure at all, he always told himself, would be becoming a real boy.
And then Tiny Box Tim decided to become a real boy, I need to go to an expert. So he went out to find Pinocchio.
But Pinocchio was nowhere to be found. Him and his fairy were shagging in the Bahamas.
So he sought the help of his dear friend Markiplier.
Markiplier was glad to help Tiny Box Tim achieve his goals of becoming a real boy. Markiplier thought that, hey, if Tim was a real boy, I could have a son, and we could go on so many great adventures.
So Mark decided to become a scientist and do a whole bunch of experiments in the basement.
When it all failed, he decided to turn to alchemy, and when he turned to alchemy, it also failed.
Deciding to almost give up, Tim had a very bright idea.
Tim decided, hey, Markiplier, isn't there a very, very cool cabin in the woods that belongs to that weird witch that you once saw and ran from and was screaming because she was so scary?
And Mark replied, yes, I believe I do.
So Tiny Box Tim popped up and said, Mark, we should go visit her because she's gotta have something that will make me a real boy.
So Markiplier and Tiny Box Tim ventured out into the woods to find this mysterious girl.
When they knocked on the door, Mark was scared out of his wits at the ugly, grotesque, very wrinkly, very pimply witch that laid in the cabin in the woods.
So Markiplier, being as scared as he was, he jumped into the nearest bush, which was filled with poison ivy.
Revealing Tiny Box Tim behind his legs, laying on the ground, looking up at the witch very lovingly, thinking, she's not so bad.
So Tiny Box Tim, as a greeting, he kissed her on the cheek.
Hi there, witch! I was wondering, well, I probably should open with something better, but you're very pretty and maybe you could help me out with something?
So then the witch started to blush because she has never been complimented in such a manner before, and so she decided to listen to what the box had to say.
Look here, witch, someone as pretty as you and very good at magic like you has got to be good with potions and magic and all that fun stuff. So I just wanted to ask you, maybe, just maybe, can you please make me a real boy?
And the witch said, I would love to, but first I need a very special ingredient that's in Ireland. If you knew someone who lived in Ireland, I could help you if they can get the secret ingredient that I need.
So Tiny Box Tim hurriedly scootered out of the cabin and out to the bush where Markiplier was huddled under the bush like, please don't let her come here, please. Please.
So Tiny Box Tim explained the situation, and Mark said, hey, we know someone that lives in Ireland. In fact, he is a YouTuber and he is my friend, and his name was Jacsepticeye.
Tiny Box Tim excitedly jumped up and down and said, Daddy, please, can we please get a hold of Jack to send us this magical ingredient that we need? I really want to be a real boy. And Mark was flattered at the fact that Tiny Box Tim would consider him his father when he was a real boy.
So they called up Jack on Skype and explained the whole situation, and Jack was very concerned.
But Jack was more than pleased to send them the ingredient. Of course, he thought that Mark had lost his mind, which was a natural reaction to hearing something like, there's a magical talking box in my room telling me that I need this ingredient because the witch in the middle of the woods told me I needed to make him into a real boy so I could have a son.
And so Jack quickly sent them the special ingredient.
The special ingredient was indeed a wild-grown Jacsepticeye from outside Jack's house where he was growing a beautiful garden of them. he was the only person in the world to have the ability to grow these.
And so, after gathering this special ingredient, they headed back to the cabin in the woods to find the witch and give her the septic eye.
Tiny Box Tim jumped up and down excitedly as the witch put all the ingredients inside the magic pot, stirring it and saying a few magical words. Markiplier insisted on staying outside, but he was excitedly awaiting the moment when Tiny Box Tim would come out as no longer a box.
After everything was made, Markiplier and Tiny Box Tim became very anxious. They were excited, but they didn't know what the side effects would be, and they were having second thoughts.
However, in a moment of indecision, Tiny Box Tim decided what the hell could go wrong. He swallowed the potion, heard a few magic words, and poof! He was a little boy, no larger than 10 inches.
And Markiplier was very pleased and happy with how this turned out. He was all giddy, and he was smiling, and he was jumping up and down with joy.
Behind the scenes, where we make up stories about Tiny Box Tim turning into Tiny Boy Tim, no more than 10 inches! You're adorable, but you
This could be a video, Tiny Box Tim story. Are you going to keep the tweet?
Yeah. No, see why not. Sorry, Tim.
So that means I have to keep the Facebook thingy.
Yep. Yeah, you do.
Anything you want to do for 43 seconds?
What's a zig-a-zig? Ah.